You said what?
Is it bright enough? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bright. All right, cool.
Looking great, looking nice and handsome.
Oh, my man.
Do you have any social media?
I don't, man. I mean,
okay. I was going to give you a shout out because you're definitely legit. But I guess if you guys want to get in contact with Andrew, he's in all the Facebook groups. He's in the Go-To Lister group chat on Facebook.
maybe I'll start posting more on Instagram. I do have a separate Instagram account.
What's your I don't know. FBA based?
No, it's like Martin's Flips or something.
Okay. That's FBA based. I mean, like you post about.
Yeah, I think there's like one post on there probably. I'll probably start doing it more though.
Let's pull this up. Mark, what's the exact handle?
1 sec. It is Martin's Flips.
Just Martin Flips?
Martin's plural with an F.
Martin's.
Yeah.
Martin's Flips. That could have been my name.
Could have been, yeah. And then there's a random profile picture on there. I don't know why that's on there, but.
All right. I know you guys don't know Andrew yet, but let's go give him a follow. I just dropped his Instagram below. You're at what? You're above 12,000 a month in sales.
Yeah, been that way for 4 or 5 months at least. Yeah.
Nice. How was textbook season?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I was over 17,000 for textbooks.
Heck yeah. So you want to introduce yourself real quick and how you got started selling books?
Yeah. So name's Andrew. I work a job, regular 9 to 5, but I was doing Uber, Lyft, and like DoorDash, like gig stuff on the side. Just always kind of staying busy with time, looking for extra cash. That got super slow and just kind of started exploring different channels for making money. I don't remember exactly how I came across books, but you start digging online and finding stuff. And I saw a couple of videos. It was either Reezy or Caleb Roth at first. I think it was Reezy.
Yeah.
But
Gateway drug.
Yeah. Except it's a good one. But then I got to, I think Caleb Roth, definitely the book flipper, and started doing it. It made sense. And honestly, I tend to, if something makes sense to me, I'll just go for it. So I went all in right away. Back then I got Exceller list. I bought a scanner, bought a scale. Oh, well, never going back to that now. Go-To Lister is the only thing I've been using for a year. I literally have 5 minutes before I hopped on here. I'm in the middle of packing up a batch right now.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, started doing it. Your traditional stuff, like Goodwills, thrifts, like, you got to learn by doing. There's only so much you can learn online. And then just steadily ramped up and started, reaching a plateau with regular thrifts and looking for more sources and trying to expand on what I could get and just grow and kind of go from there. So I'm at a pretty good consistent spot right now. I've got a few different sources I can pull a lever on when I need it. If one's bad, I can go to another one, call somebody, or, so I've got a good base right now. And the goal is like 200 a week, at least 200 books a week. Cause I'm not doing bulk. I still work a job, but this has started to rival my income for my job nearly, probably like 80% of my day job. So 70.
Congrats, man. Congrats. And so you're just sourcing weekends then? Or I remember when I went and visited you in Austin, Texas, right? Austin?
Yeah. I'm still.
I was thinking about moving out there to do jiu-jitsu, become a professional jiu-jitsu athlete. But no, they have a really good team out there. And I was actually considering moving to Austin. And then we met up for lunch one day or coffee. And I remember you taking off work to go find books. And I'm like, this guy's a hustler. He's going to make it. So
I've done that many times since, and I'm doing it next Thursday. There's a huge sale going on. So
I mean, it just makes sense. Like, how much do you think you'll make taking one day off? Do you get like paid time off?
Yeah, I still get paid.
Okay, so you get paid time off, and then how much do you think you'll make on average on a day where you go out? You're probably strategically sourcing like a library sale or like a. Yeah,
I'm gonna go. I'll be getting up earlier than I normally would for work. I mean, I'll be working more than I would at my day job. I'll be getting up. It's about an hour and a half away. It's over 100,000 books they advertise. So I'll be going there, get there by doors open at 8 or no, doors open at 10. I'll probably spend, who knows, 3 to 4 hours there, maybe. I'll come back and hit up a few regular spots. I mean, I'm hoping I'll get at least 200 books in just that day. I mean, and the stuff I'll source, I'll go as low as like $3-4 if it's although it depends. If it's a super fast selling book, I'll go that low when I get it really cheap. The stuff at the library sale is going to be $1, $2, but I mean, I'll probably hopefully like $1,000 that day. At
Yeah.
least.
Yeah. I mean, if you're making $4 profit a book, 200
Yeah.
books, that's $800 right there.
Yeah, conservative. I'll
You
shoot
know.
for that.
We got John in here. If you guys have questions, ask them below. We'll be on here for the next 30 minutes or so. John's asking, do you get your books from Goodwill or anywhere else?
Yes, I do get. I don't go to too many traditional Goodwills now, although I don't think that's a bad idea. I do Goodwills and some offshoots of Goodwill. They do have some outlets and stuff. Those are pretty good if you haven't been there yet. But I'm not afraid to make phone calls and reach out to a lot of people. Like on Facebook Marketplace is somewhere where I'll find sources. I have a consistent source, kind of a textbook lady. I'll probably meet once every 6 weeks to 2 months. I recently got a new thrift store, I think, hookup. I think the guy's interested. They're going to let me. I just sent him an email. I said, what do you guys do with your leftover books? Grew from there. But kind of more specific, yes, John, I do get books from Goodwill, and I did that for probably 6-7 months at least. That was my main thing, and was able to consistently sell at least 5,000 a month just doing like Goodwill and library sales.
Heck yeah. You're operating what, like 30-40% margin?
Yeah, it's about 40%, 35 to 40% gross, and then after all fees and stuff, I'm about 25-30% at least net profit. Nice.
Do you know what your average sales price is?
For the year, it is over 4,300 books sold. It's about $20. Yeah, but it's gone down because my volume has increased more. If you just snapshot at the last 4 months, that's probably 70% of what I sold this year. So I'm on an upward trend. I'm doing more volume, lower average sale price. So that number was over 26 about 3 months ago.
Yeah. And are you tracking your turn rate?
Yeah. I mean, I'm selling roughly 180 books a week. It's my numbers now, again, if you snapshot at the last 3 months, it would look a lot better than over the course of a year, but I'm selling about 750 to 800 books a month. Mm-hmm. And I have just over 2,200 active inventory. So you can, it's over 30% churn of my entire inventory is getting sold in a month. And when I send stuff in, it's churning quick. I focus on fast selling stuff unless it's high profit, but even the high profit stuff, a month and a half, 2 months tops.
Speaking of Caleb Roth, he's my mentor. He's the one that taught me how to build my book business. And ironically, or not ironically, he built and sold a book business, a consignment book business. And I built and sold a consignment book business. And one of the things he always has to track is, number one, how many items are you listing every week?
Yep.
Number two, what's your average sales price? You should try and keep that above $20 as a bookseller. Number three, what's your turn rate? How much of your inventory you're actually selling? And he says you should try and keep that above 20%. So as long as your turn rate's good and your average sales price is good, and obviously you want your profit to be good, but if you're paying $1 to $5 per book and your average sales price is $20 plus, you're good. Then in that case, all you need to do is list more books. Like as long as your average sales price is good, your turn rate's good, list more books. And if you guys haven't already, check out the GoToLister app. If you guys are using GoToLister to list your books. We also have a mobile app that breaks down all these profit analytics, and it tells you those two numbers, your turn rate, and it also tells you, it's not focusing, but it also tells you what your average sales price is. And this is my wholesale account. Half of these sales are mine. The other half are my friends. And so, but our turn rate is 60%. You can kind of expect that with other business models, but with books, as long as it's above 20%, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I just got a new phone. I'm going to log into my account. But yeah, in my inventory now, my average buy cost is much closer to about $1.50. If not even lower. What if you don't live in a metro area?
We got Rhonda saying, want to hear about sourcing opportunities other than Goodwill, specifically what if you don't live in a metro area where there's lots of opportunities?
Yeah, well, if you're not going to do online arbitrage, which I would recommend for that, that's a great opportunity. I would do online arbitrage more if I did not have these sources I'm talking about. But if you don't live in a metro, make some phone calls, send some emails. See, I don't know if there's thrift stores around you. There's books everywhere. There's books all over the place. You kind of just have to start doing something. Like you're going to kind of learn by failing. Start getting on Facebook Marketplace every day. I don't know if there's recyclers around you. That's kind of a big operation. If you wanted to go that route, it would take a little more finesse and probably understanding of how to communicate with those people. But that might be a potential source down the line. But I would really look at how far are you willing to drive, draw a radius around there. And I mean, it's just going to take more work if you're not in an area with a lot of stuff right around you. Email thrift stores, call places, call schools, see what they do with their books, see what they're going to do with their libraries. They churn libraries every once in a while. They get rid of books. Any place that uses a lot of books consistently, I would reach out to that you might think. Connect with other sellers too. Like see what they do. Post online, post in the Facebook groups. What do you guys do who don't live in areas? You just need to start getting ideas and then start going. And if there's anywhere within like an hour drive of you and you can dedicate a day consistently, it would be well worth your time to start learning spots within a driving range, like a certain radius.
Katie's asking why quantity goal versus potential profit goal to send in weekly.
If I answer that why quantity goal, that's always going to depend on what's like available to you. It's not necessarily if I was selling 200 books a week and I'm averaging $5 a profit, it doesn't make a difference if I'm selling 40 books a week and I'm making $20 profit per book. So it's not necessarily the quantity over potential profit. It's just that you're likely not going to find $60, $70, $80 textbooks right around you. So quantity and potential profit is a balance, right? So you kind of want to have a goal. I have a good source and my low buy cost is key. So I will buy a lot there. So for me, it's quantity because I'm getting them super cheap. So it's just turning a lot of books over. If I can even make $2 a book, I'm going to send it in sometimes, Yeah,
I like that. Katie's also saying, rural areas are best for free book pickup services, personal collection buyouts. Facebook, she's talking about Facebook Marketplace, can be your best friend with that. Good advice, Katie Reeves. We got to get you on the channel soon. She's an OG. She's been selling books as long as I have.
Yeah, Facebook.
You tried Graceworks, says Colin.
Graceworks. I have not tried Graceworks. No.
What is Graceworks?
I don't know what Graceworks is. Colin, enlighten us.
Yeah, let us know. Colin's a high school buddy of mine. He's getting into flipping books here in Nashville, actually.
Oh, cool.
I just messaged on Facebook Messenger, said, JP, nice. Do you create your Facebook listings in Marketplace? Do you do any, I guess, maybe he's talking about free book pickups? Yeah,
I haven't had much success with free book pickups in Marketplace. I did used to do a lot of Nextdoor, posting in Nextdoor app. So I use primarily Nextdoor for free book pickups. That can kind of go depending, it's always worth taking a shot. Again, it's just like do whatever you can in the beginning. I don't know how far along you can, but I'll reach out to tons of people on Facebook Marketplace. I'll send them a message. That's actually how I ended up getting one consistent source. This lady posted 3 books, but then I went and met with her, and she runs a business distributing textbooks, and she had a whole library of books. Oh, hey.
In the house, Caleb Roth.
Hey there, Caleb Roth.
He's always looking for that clout, always looking for that name.
Always. Oh, hey, I'm here.
Caleb Roth, the follower right here. He's doing many other ventures. If you guys come to Miami Sellers Conference, we'll be doing wristbands, or they're called beacons. Super, super cool. What they do is you put them on, and they have like a little emblem. It'll be MSC on like a little clay thing. And then what you can do is tap it to each other's phones, and it shares your personal information. It shares your goal for the weekend, what your intention is. And there's also a scoreboard that we'll have. We did this at Books and Beyond. We'll do it at Miami Sellers Conference. We'll give awards away to the people that network the most over the weekend. So that's kind of his new business venture. He's a creator of Scout IQ and eFlip and Palette IQ. So really good entrepreneur. I'm interested in the website you have that buys textbooks with a 50-50 split. So I actually sold that business, restrictedinventory.com, but it is still alive and well. If you guys want, go over to restrictedinventory.com. and send your textbooks. And this is really good for textbooks. You have over like $50 profit. Maybe a buyback company is offering, $10, $15, but if you send to restricted inventory, you can sell it for 50. You'll actually get 30, and then the company will keep 20. They only ever keep 20 max. So it's a 50-50 split, but they cap themselves at $20. So if you send in a $100 profit book, they keep 80, you keep 20.
Grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome to the
restrictedinventory.com. Go check it out. Let's see what else we got in here.
Sir.
Rhonda's saying, I live in a metro area, but only about 500K. That's not terrible. I have a Goodwill, but no books there. That's interesting. I've only been to a handful of Goodwills without books, but maybe try Salvation Army.
They're definitely getting books.
Yeah.
They're just not putting that. If they're not on the shelves, you need to go talk to somebody.
Yeah, for real. That's actually really good advice.
Yeah. When I went to Salvation Army, people donate to these places. They're donating books. If they're not putting them out on a shelf, they're doing something with them. Talk to somebody. I talked to somebody at Salvation Army, and the guy just says, anytime you want to pick up Gaylords, just give me a call. So,
Abe, are you still selling books? No, ever since I sold restrictedinventory.com, I am not selling books, but I am selling wholesale on Amazon FBA and focusing on GoToLister. What do you do with the valuable books that aren't good to sell on Amazon?
if they're not good to sell on Amazon, you're looking for other channels, eBay, Marketplace, Biblio, A-Books.
Yeah, usually if they're good on those websites, they're good on Amazon. So
Yeah.
like what determines a valuable book? Almost every book that's valuable elsewhere is valuable on Amazon, I would say. But there are exceptions, maybe textbooks that you can't sell on Amazon. In that case, restrictedinventory.com or go to bookscatter.com, find a vendor to flip them to. Or eBay's good too, but eBay is like 10% of what Amazon is. And eBay is generally good for like rare books and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree. There's generally, if it's good on that. Yeah.
We got Rhonda saying, could you expand on online arbitrage? You're doing a decent amount of OA.
Yeah, I haven't done it recently as much, just because the sources I have are good right now. They're filling what I need, but I know online arbitrage, as I have been an Amazon third-party seller, I like to know about online opportunities for books. Yeah. Well, if you want to do it all the time, that's it. There's stuff all the time. Seasonality is key. You're going to really want to, I'm assuming Keepa. You're just going to go Keepa Deals is a great place to start. Look at just obviously click books and go in there, used, and enter whatever metrics you want in terms of search parameters, sales rank, price, and all that. And that's where I found a lot of my stuff. If you're willing to pay for software, I think Joji and Victor they still have BookMine going really strong. I was using that too.
That's a great software.
Yeah, Replen Catcher from Raken. Might want to check that out. Just like anything else OA, it's all about buying something that for whatever reason is just lower right now than it should be. Keepa is your best friend on that for me.
Yeah, 100%. What tips would you have for like complete beginners with online arbitrage? Like what kind of flips would you be looking for?
It's a little tougher if you're just beginning. You really should have a kind of an understanding of how, books sell, like getting some repetitions in. But if you want to take a stab at it, you're going to need some capital if you want to get any momentum. I think with online arbitrage, I would say you need a decent amount of income because your average buy cost is just going to be higher. So you're going to be really wanting to focus on stuff that looks like a gold winner. Like it's like on that Keepa chart, like that black line is stable and then it just drops and there's a super low offer and you snag it at the right time. I would start watching some videos. Joji and Victor have a ton of good content out there specifically for online arbitrage. Seasonality would be key. That's probably easier to break into with seasonality. Those are a lot more obvious. Like I focused a lot on law textbooks. I probably bought, 50, 60, at least just specifically law textbooks. Those Keepa charts are much more recognizable. You can see it always raises up. It goes down in like May, June, July, and then it just peaks back up. Mm-hmm. So seasonality would be a good one because it's just going to be, it's more reliable. There's dips and then there's rises, peaks and valleys for there.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about like relationships and how that's helped your book business, like with thrift stores, libraries, whatever. And I'm going to plug in my sauna real quick because I'm about to do a sauna session. So I'll let you take that.
Okay. Yeah, relationships are super helpful. I mean, the people I have at thrift stores, not only do we communicate to each other when certain sales are going on, they'll tell me about a thrift store they know. They'll inform me when either shelves have been restocked. You're probably asking, why don't they get them themselves? Some people that I know are in the book game, but they have a completely different model than I do. They either don't sell FBA, they only do FBM. So certain books for them are good. Certain books for me are good. Just knowing who to rely on, calling people. I probably have 4 to 5 people who I communicate with on a weekly basis, somebody I communicate with almost daily, constantly exchanging just information, what we're seeing. Just keeps your mentality fresh. But if you're just relationships in terms of books alone, I mean, people will tell me when there's new books out at a source I go to all the time. They'll tell me when a new shipment's either coming in because they know they have connections with those people. And they'll communicate with me. And again, it's because they do books, but they do a different model than me. So of like the 4 people I talk to weekly, one of them does strictly like antique books on eBay. One of them does FBM. I know somebody who literally just sources books as cheap as they can find and goes to a used bookstore and sells them. It's an older lady. I don't think she wants to mess with Amazon, but I'll be sitting at work at 4:30 and she'll tell me, hey, there's new books, or hey, there's, go here, there's new books out, or this person's going to put books out, or hey, we're going to go pick up some Gaylords at this store this weekend. I'm like, you want to tag along? Yeah, I'll come along. And we can split the cost because she does a different model than I do. I'll take what I want. She takes what she wants. It's super helpful to have people you can know and to just change, mess around ideas, or they'll tell you something that's going on you might not have been aware of.
Right. Sophia's saying, although I do bulk, I'm focusing on high value books only. Less work, more profit. Also, returns for high value books are lesser than cheaper books.
I saw your post.
Yeah.
Hey, Sophia. I remember Sophia.
That's interesting.
That was a super. Sophia posted on, I'm not sure which group it was, but it was a really interesting post. It broke down like her profit levels based on like the volume of books she sold to reach. I don't. She'll probably correct me. I don't know, but it was like something like 7 or 8 times the amount of books, lower profit books. I think it was under 20. She was referencing books under $20 versus books over $20 sale price, and how much she made on each. And it was something staggering. Like over 20 was maybe like 4,000 to 5,000 books she sold for the same profit as like 20,000 books.
Yeah. I got a friend in New Jersey, and he does 15 million a year in book sales, but so many of his books sell for like $9. And shout out to Caleb Roth. Caleb Roth did a study, and I'm probably going to butcher these numbers, but it was something along the lines of the Pareto principle, where 20% of your efforts yield 80% of your results. This goes for anything in life generally. Like 20% of what you do yields 80% of the result. And so Caleb did a study, or a case study, where he looked at someone's inventory. He found like 40% of their books only accounted for like 3% of their profit. So if you look at their bottom 40% books, sales volume wise, like if they sold 10,000 books, 4,000 of those books only yielded 3% of profit. And it's like, when you look at those numbers and you're paying someone, or you're paying yourself, you're trading your time for money. It's like, was it worth processing those 4,000 books for an extra 3% in profit? Or should you just have focused on the other 60%, the 6,000 books that are going to yield you way more? Because if you're paying employees and stuff to process books that aren't worth much, maybe you should have not paid them to list those books and ship those books, and instead quickly just pass on them. And that's a hard decision to make in business. Like when you scan a book and you see it's going to make you $1.50 profit, it's hard to pass up on that. But the reality is, like, you could pass up on books and only take books $5 or even $10 in profit and above, and your bottom line profit's probably not going to be affected too much, and your workload's going to be reduced significantly.
Yep. Yeah, it is hard, especially in the beginning, when books might be scarce, to come around and that little light turns green on Scout IQ or Scoutly, and it's like telling you accept, and you're like, you got it.
Yeah. It looks like it feels like you've already made the profit when you look at the app.
That little dopamine hit, you're like, it's like, it's cool. And I, honestly, I would agree with Sophia. It's hard to turn them down. And honestly, the only time I go that low is because I'm already at a source, and it's, it's super cheap. I probably should pass up on some of them. I did liquidate about 100 books that did end up going low in price. Not liquidate. I just lowered the price and sold.
Mm-hmm.
So they were probably, I mean, honestly, with my time, it cost me more, but you know.
What is your liquidation strategy? So that is like a form of liquidating, dropping the price, getting rid of inventory. Are you also using Amazon's liquidation program, or are you moving books?
Yeah, if they allow it, it looks like they've really lowered, or a lot of books just aren't. They don't give you the option to liquidate a lot of books now, as before you could just easily liquidate them. But that's not really an option for a lot of them. It's either ship back to you, donate, recycle. I mean, the only time I really go that low is on super fast selling books. Like I'm, 151 plus e-scores. That's it. So I'm confident that the book will sell. And if the price tanks, it's going to be, I'm not going to be charged for that sale, unless it's a heavy book, but I'm not sourcing heavy books with that low a price. So I'm kind of going in it with the knowledge that if this book tanks, I'll be able to sell it, at a price that I won't be charged for. But so my strategy is really to just lower the price. Mm-hmm. But again, that kind of makes me think I shouldn't be getting those low profit books as much as I do. But
right, yeah. We got flipping for Bills saying, what scanner do you recommend?
Oh, I got the bum scanner, man. eYoYo, $40, super easy. It does the job.
Do you know what the KDC? I don't even know, like 200i or something. Have you heard of that scanner?
Yeah.
Reese used to recommend it, and it's funny. Like back in the day, that scanner used to go for like 120 used on eBay. It's going for like $20-$30 now.
Wow.
It's actually cheaper than the eYoYo and the Notamu. But I think those two put them out of business. And me and Steve Rakin have only been talking about the Notamus and eYoYos for the last 5 years. So
I finally my first eYoYo just broke about 2 weeks ago. So it lasted a year and a half for $40, $30, $40.
Dude, I'm kind of jank. This is probably bad karma, especially as an Amazon seller. But in my opinion, like if you make a Bluetooth scanner, it should work. That's all I ask. And so half the time when I would order the Notamu scanner, not half the time, but I'd say like 20 or 30% of the time, it wouldn't work. And so if it ever went bad on me, I would just buy a new scanner and then replace it in the box and just return it and say item defective, Well,
you're sending back a defective item. So.
Yeah. But a lot of times I'd purchase it. It just wouldn't work. And I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm going to return this. But I will say like the speed mode, you're more in the trenches than I am now. But whenever I go out, I actually do like using speed mode on Scout IQ. Scoutly has it as well. And the reason why I like using it is speed mode basically shows you the profit on the screen. And Scout IQ, for some reason, locked me out of their account. So I've actually been studying different sourcing apps lately and just getting a feel for them. But here's this is Scoutly. What you can do with it is this is speed mode. So you turn on, they call it quick scan. And the reason why I like quick scan is you can go from scanning barcodes. So right now, if I take a book, I can scan the barcode just like that. Yeah. But if it's a book that doesn't have a barcode, but it has the ISBN, I can quickly toggle to OCR, and now I can scan the ISBN number. So if you're at like a library sale or a thrift store and you're just scanning the books with your phone on speed mode, you can quickly toggle to OCR and then just scan the numbers. So that's personally why I like using it. And of course, a Bluetooth scanner is always going to be faster, but I mean, speed mode gets pretty damn close.
Yeah. Scout IQ has, I think you said Scoutly. Scout IQ has the same thing. Yeah.
I take credit for that. I don't know if it was 100% my idea, but 6 years ago, I'm getting old. 6 years ago, I was sitting there with Caleb and Matthew, and I'm like, dude, like I go out and I'm the type of person that like my Bluetooth scanner will die like 2 hours in because I didn't charge it the night before. And then I'd be stuck with my phone. I'm like, dude, I just wish you could click on something and just have it stay on the camera scan the whole time, and eventually implemented it. So.
I dropped that question or suggestion in a Facebook group like, I don't know, 6-7 months ago. And I'm like, hey, this would be a nice feature. And someone's like, yeah, they have that. I'm like,
oh, they have it. That's funny. Yeah. I think they released it a few years ago.
Yeah. The only reason I don't sometimes do that is because I'll, whatever your triggers are, if it's going to tell you to reject, it's not always a reject. They're just like OA. It's like if you're sourcing an OA book online and you're looking for that low price, like if the book normally sells for like 50 or something and you're looking for that low price, like if it's a lower e-score, but there's only one offer sitting there for like $12 or something, and then it just jumps up to like $30-$40, and that's a consistent price for it. It's the same exact thing as OA, except when you have it in your hand, it's going to tell you a reject, so you might miss it.
Yeah.
And now that's because I have time. You know, if I was doing bulk, there's no way I'm looking at my phone for every scan. But
Yeah.
you know,
Do you want to talk about your triggers a little bit, like what you're doing? Did you modify your triggers at all?
Honestly, I'm probably one of the exceptions. I don't really set up too many triggers. I really just go off e-score. What are the offers, and what's the price?
I think that's good. I think the job of triggers is to get your attention, and I would rather have the lowest, not the lowest, but lower triggers get my attention more often. Me say no to more books that say yes on the app than raise my triggers so high that I just never even get notified.
Yeah.
So that's
because I'll send in, a lot of books I'll see there's a high new price, and there might be 5-6 offers at a low price. It's not profitable, but I know it's gonna, the available offers are gonna sell out faster than what's there. So I know I'll send in a book. It might be 6 offers listed at like $12, but the new price is $35. So I'll just, when I list it, I'll just list it for like $20. Might take an extra 2 weeks to sell, but it'll sell. Or whatever. Somebody wants a 2-day shipping and I'm in the closest warehouse, so they'll buy my offer instead.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh. He is posting on YouTube. If you guys want to learn how to sell books on Amazon or flip books on eBay, he's got a great YouTube channel. He's out in the trenches doing it. Nice. And he's releasing a go-to lister video later this week, or next week. So definitely go give him a follow. And we already got a few people following Andrew. Martin Flips on Instagram. Scroll through the YouTube comments.
Better start putting out content. Yeah, I'll post some pictures of the batch I'm going to ship out. I gotta tape up the 6-7 boxes I got when I'm done.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. What about your listing flow? Are you shipping once a week? How are you dealing with split shipments? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I try to ship every week. That's my usual goal. Usually source on Saturdays, ship on list and box up on Sundays. This is kind of an odd week, but yeah, I'm sitting at the desk. I do my shipping now. I've got a little table here. I just lay all my books out. It just moves left to right. I've got my little scanner right behind me over here. I'll literally just, I've got my entire table over here, load up all the books, scan it with go-to lister, and then label it, pop it in another box. When I'm done with all that, I just shift everything back over to the left, rescan it for box contents, and load it in the box. And as far as split shipments go, I don't really care. A lot of people kind of don't like split shipments. Whatever, it is what it is. But with the book thing, it does tend to work for me with 200 SKUs. I'll usually get one warehouse. So I've been, it's usually one.
A little bit on that, and then before you get into that, what do you? Because there's 3 options you can select.
Yeah.
In your settings.
Yeah. So partial splits. Minimal splits, partial splits, and optimize. Those are your 3 options you can choose in Seller Central. So minimal is going to be going to the least amount of warehouses, probably 1. On that's probably best and ideal for if you have a lower volume shipment. Where if Amazon's going to split up your shipments and it's going to have you send 3 books to another warehouse, 5 books to here, you're going to end up paying more in those smaller shipping fees than what you're going to pay in placement fees. So when you choose minimal or partial splits, Amazon is going to charge you placement fees because essentially you're not shipping the book to its final destination. Basically, you're telling Amazon, I want to ship to here and that's it. So from there, Amazon is going to take your inventory and move it to its final destination. And so what they're doing now is they're going to charge you placement fees. But when you have lower quantity shipments, it makes sense to pay the placement fee, I would think, for majority of the cases, because you're going to end up paying more than you would in the shipping fees. Now, it's going to take longer for your books to become active and Prime eligible, but that's probably okay if you're looking to save money. The third option is optimized. So I always use optimized. And what somebody found out, I don't know, a while before or no, if you have 200 SKUs, so not necessarily 200 books, but 200 separate books or items, SKUs, it tends to default to 1 warehouse. So you avoid the placement fees with that. Now, Amazon will probably still send some of your books in fulfillment center transfers, but your flow is so much easier because you don't have to mess with split shipments and boxes. So
Yeah.
I do optimize for everything right now, and I usually have over 200 SKUs.
Yeah. Yeah, you save a lot of money doing that. And you kind of have like a reliable flow too, because you get no splits, same flow, you know, you get splits, same flow, just a little bit different. Maybe it's a pain that like 5 are going to one warehouse or there's a one-off book, but more or less you're not completely reliant on the split situation since you're using box contents on GoToLister. And then also you're not getting screwed in fees. Like if you're doing the minimal splits, I mean, when I ran my test, I was paying, they don't tell you exactly how much the fees are, but I was paying 65 cents per book for paying them for no splits. And the funny thing is, like, even if you don't get splits organically, I guess that's the best word for it. Like if you have minimal splits on and there's no splits, and then if you were to turn on minimal splits, so you've Amazon optimized splits and there's no splits, you shouldn't be paying any fees. Even if you select minimal splits and you still get no splits, obviously, because you're paying for it, they will charge you the fees. So like you're literally just paying Amazon for nothing.
Yeah, they'll take your money for whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Good. Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, splits are fine. You know, you just got to pay a little bit more attention when you're doing. For me, when I'm doing box contents, but you do anything enough, it's not a big deal. You have a system for it. You know.
We got Josh in here saying, when I optimize, all my shipments go to the East Coast. I live in California, and the last shipment of 125 books was $125. It's expensive.
That is crazy.
When I ship to a West Coast warehouse, it's less. Is this normal? Well, yes, it's less if you ship to the location near you. You are able to, I guess when I optimize, you cannot select the location.
No.
Right. So, just do the math, man. Like literally just, it'll take 10 minutes, but preview the shipment, Amazon optimize, do the math on what the inbound shipping cost would be, and then do the minimal splits then you can choose West Coast and see what the fees would be and see if the fees and inbound shipping level out. Just kind of do the math, add total fees up, total inbound shipping, and just divide it by the total number of books. And you might find that a West Coast shipment is so much less in inbound shipping that it actually is worth paying the 30 to 60 cent fee, whatever they charge.
Yeah. One guy I talked to a lot on the West Coast, shout out Anthony. He figured out the math and he does minimal or partial for the most place. I also wonder if there was a weird spike in UPS shipping rates like a week or two ago, maybe, where like something crazy happened with their UPS shipping rates and people were getting charged ridiculous amounts of money. I don't know how long ago that shipment was, but it could have been that. But $1 a book is nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah. I got somebody called me about that and like left a voicemail. One of my friends in New York, he was doing like $60K a month in sales 4 or 5 years ago, and he was just like, "Dude, is this normal? Noticing all your users?" And then I logged into the GoToLister page, and some people were talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Amazon's always changing stuff. If you ever see something crazy where you're just being screwed in fees, like just go in the Facebook groups and ask around, and maybe something's going on. Yeah,
they got all these deferred payments now that they're doing. You seeing those? Yeah.
Wait, what is it? The
deferred payments.
What is that?
So it's like I probably need to know more about it. I mean, it honestly hasn't interrupted my flow of payments much, but I think they're just releasing your payments later. I think.
Yeah.
Delivery date plus 7 days.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of that. I mean, they're always changing stuff. Some accounts get payouts every day. Some accounts get payouts.
They're the big gorilla in the room, so you got to do whatever the hell they say.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll like test, like out of the millions of Amazon accounts that are out there, they'll do deferred payments or some new thing just to like 20 or 30% of the accounts.
Yeah.
So,
sneaky, man. They're always pulling something.
They are. What else you got going on? You got any travel plans soon or anything?
Any what plans?
Travel plans or anything like that?
I don't think so. Personal life stuff.
personal life or book sourcing trips or whatever?
I got a lot of family in St. Louis. They usually get together every year in Christmas. I might be going out there. If I do anything, that would be my next one. A couple of my cousins are going snowboarding in Wyoming in December as well. Might meet with them for that. But no, other than that, just traveling to this big book sale next week. It's like an hour and a half away from me. So
Heck yeah.
Day off work and take advantage of it. Yeah.
Good luck there. Isabel's asking, what determines which books get shipped to a different warehouse?
I mean, kind of the question, probably whatever their algorithm determines based on the availability of what books they have in different warehouses and what they see the demand is. I'm guessing I don't know this for certain, but I'm assuming it's where are they seeing the most demand for that book, which that's probably all over the country. That might be regional, but then it's really, they're probably trying to fill the most 2-day shipping territory that they can. So they're probably backfilling warehouses that don't have that book or that item and sending it there. I mean, regardless of what the true answer is, they're going to send your stuff to where they send it no matter what. So you're never going to be able to factor that into a scouting or a sourcing decision.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to break down your sourcing strategy for this library sale coming up?
Yeah. So it's supposed to be over 100,000, books, DVD, books, media, right? Whatever. So they open at 10 a.m. It's the preview day. Always, if you missed the preview day, in my opinion, you missed it. So whatever. Friends of the library, I don't care. I'll pay whatever the fee is. So yeah, I'm going to get there 2 hours early. Open at 10 a.m. I'm going to get there at 8 a.m. and then just pretty much go hog wild. I'm going to try and just locate the best area because it's going to be swamped with resellers. So hardback, any if they have educational sections, if they have hardbacks, educational art, architecture, just try and locate the best, whatever looks the most expensive stuff. Go to those sections and just scan the hell out of that area. And then I'll probably move on to books will be my first tier. I'll probably move on to like Blu-rays, games, DVDs if they have that. Then I'll go for like CDs. I'll also look at the rare and vintage stuff because I'm sure some people will pass that up. That won't be as swamped. That'll probably be down the line. But anything educational, music related, art, hardbacks, I mean, just be going for those sections first and exhaust all my resources. I'm going to bring my own little dolly cart with a big tote bins. I'm going to see if they let me bring that in. Like a wheelie cart, download the live database on Scout IQ so I can scan as fast as I need to. And just pretty much go wild, try and go quick.
Did you find this library sale on BOOKSELLERS.com or did you email them or what's the?
This one, I mean, I would have found it, I'm sure, but one of the people I know from sourcing, one of my, relationships that we were talking about earlier, she let me know it was coming up.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So you guys can go to BOOKSELLFinder.com to find library sales. I recommend putting all those in your calendar. And then also just email like every library within 50 to 100 miles and just literally ask, okay, when's the next library sale coming up? And then put all those in your calendar. Prioritize the library sales that are not advertised on Book Sale Finder because there's way more reselling competition there. If you can find a library sale that's not advertised on Book Sale Finder, you're going to make way more profit. So pro tip.
In a small town too, like go talk to the people at the library. Start introducing yourself. Like you never know what's going to come from that connection. Like just go tell them what you do and see what they can do. The books are everywhere and people don't know what to do with them.
Right, exactly. We got Sophia. By the way, Sophia is doing 50,000 plus a month in sales. I don't know what she's at now. She might be even more than that. But she's saying at Books and Beyond, which is happening next October, go to booksandbeyondcon.com to book your ticket today. Andrew might be speaking there. We haven't talked about it. But
I'll be there. I had to visit last year.
Yeah. We got Joji Davenport in the house, the host for Books and Beyond. I'm his co-host.
Shout out BookMine.
Shout out BookMine. Shout out Joji Davenport. Go follow his YouTube channel and get your tickets for Books and Beyond Con next year. Anyway, she's saying Reezy added another perspective in creating bundles. When many sellers scan at thrift stores, they don't focus on bundles. Recently sold 20 Magic Treehouse for $57. Nice. Yeah. I mean, most booksellers are just too lazy to bundle books together, and so if you find like a 3-volume set all together, what you can do is go to the Amazon seller app, type in the title, and then type in set at the end, scroll through the listings and look for look for the set listing, or there's also set ISBNs at the beginning of each set. So if you open up the first copy of a set, usually there's a set ISBN. You can look that up on Amazon. And then all you need to do is shrink wrap the books together, or put the books in a small box, or you can polybag them if it's like 2 and they're smaller. But those are kind of your options there. Do you do any bundling?
Yeah, I just sold a $60 bundle like 3 days ago.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what it was when I came across it, but I realized it was a bundle, and I found the other 2 books at the same source.
Yeah.
Yeah, did the same thing. I literally just shrink wrapped it, put it together.
Just get some shrink wrap from the kitchen, or saran wrap from the kitchen.
Yep. Yeah.
And then wrap it up, and then all you got to do is put the effing SKU sticker on the outside. If it's a huge set, like a 60 pound set or more, you can actually put it in one heavy duty box, and then write Team Lift on the side, and you can ship that directly to Amazon as well. Are you seeing them not embracing resellers at those sales?
No, not so much anymore. I mean, I think if they have something against resellers, they're probably going to say that, because I think they're used to people being there now. If anything, you could call and ask, but I mean, first of all, if it's any fear you have, if you're like worried about doing it, like just get rid of that. Just go do it. Don't care about that. If they have a problem with it, they will let you know, and just be respectful and polite. Don't, if you're asking that question, I'm sure you are, but no, I mean, I've only come across, I think, one store in my area where the guy knew I was reselling and he denied me the purchase, which in my
it'll happen once in a blue moon. But you got to ask yourself, like, if you're running a business, which these library sales are, they're accepting cash for books.
Yeah.
If you're running a business, are you going to hate the customers that pay you the most money?
Yep.
Absolutely not. And so one video on my YouTube channel, which many of you have probably seen, is this lady was chewing me out. And my high school friend, who's a photographer, was recording the whole thing. And luckily he kept the camera rolling. She's trying to chew me out. And in her head, she was like, oh, if I chew him out to the library sales staff, the friends of the library who are there, working, they're literally volunteers. She thought that they were going to turn against me. She's like, he's a reseller. He's a reseller. He's a reseller. And she's pointing at me. And the guy is looking at me and I'm looking at him. We're just kind of both nodding our head like, yeah, this lady's crazy, because he knows that we go into the sale before everyone else. That's what the pre-sale is for. If you don't want to get stressed out, don't go to the pre-sale, lady. Yeah. That's where everyone's going to be going around like a maniac grabbing the books. But he knows that we leave with boxes and boxes and boxes of books. We probably make up, back to the Pareto principle, 20% of their sales probably, or 80% of their sales probably come from 20% of the buyers. That 20% is most likely resellers. So 100%. Get out of your head that reselling is bad. In any Amazon business, like even in my wholesale business now, yeah, some brands won't sell to you. Some distributors won't sell to you. But
I haven't gotten one phone call from a library employee that asked me what I did with the books after I left. So
really?
No, I'm just saying, like.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I'm saying I haven't had anybody call me and go, "Hey, what'd you do with those? The 50 books you bought?"
Can you bring them back? We want to make sure that these books are. We want to make sure you took that massive collection and put them in your basement for no one else to read. We don't want you to redistribute these books to.
Are you dusting them every week and keeping them clean? Yes, ma'am, I am.
Right. Let's see what else we got here. 50 Shades, Harry Potter, Dr. Seuss, Hardy Boys. Very good profit. I would add Twilight on there. Is fast selling, especially the 5-book set. Just religious sets. However you say it, Britic. What is it, Briticana or whatever?
Britannica. Yeah.
What is it?
Britannica.
I've sold those sets before, dude. Like, nobody has the balls to pack up those sets that are like 70 pounds and ship them to Amazon FBA, but I was doing that all the time. I was doing library closeouts. I would go to libraries closing down around the country. I would go in, and a lot of the books were good, but then we'd find sets of books, and we would just ship massive sets to FBA. Now, FBA was a little bit different back then. There was no storage. There was storage fees, but there wasn't storage limits and all that. But even today, like, if a book has a good keeper graph with consistent sales and there's no FBA offers, if you ship a set of books and you match low price and there's a sale every month, you're going to be the next sale. So who cares if the shipping is high? It's better than
26 out of, like, I think it's a 28, 30 volume set of Britannica. I think I have like 26 of them. I don't know. I picked them all up.
Nice.
Taking up space, but I just need the other 2. I think they're them individually, and
it's always crazy packing those sets.
Yeah, they're heavy, but
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, brother. If everyone go give him a follow real quick. I'm going to put his Instagram up one more time. Scroll through the YouTube comments. Martin's Flips on IG. Let's get him encouraging to post more on social media, because if you guys don't already, I do recommend posting your journey selling on Amazon and social media. It's given me so much. It's given me so much opportunity. It's built my network. It's an opportunity for you guys to build your network with other Amazon sellers. Other people are going to see your book business. They're going to want to sell you their books. That's an opportunity right there. And it just like builds confidence, gives you more information. You're like an antenna out there. You're just getting more and more info on just different things. So even if you only post like a few times a week or a few times a month, I think it's definitely worth it. We got a few more questions coming in here. For any library books that have a plastic cover, library stamps, but all pages are in excellent condition, do you list them as acceptable? Personally, I do, and I put X library. What do you do, Andrew?
Yeah, I only list as good or acceptable anymore. Yeah, if they have stamps in the plastic cover on, yeah, acceptable. If it's super clean, I'll maybe make.
I don't think it's wrong to list them as good. I've done it before. I know people who list library books as like new. I just don't think. I think someone who's like particularly looking for a like new book is not going to be happy if it's X library. So definitely put it in the condition note. Put X library. That's all I put in the condition note. X library. Boom. That way, there's no surprises, no returns. How many SKUs do you have? Do you average to reach your 12K monthly?
I mean, right now I'm selling like 800 books a month, 800 books a month. Is that right? That can't be right. That sounds really low price.
Your average sales price is $20. So if you're doing like,
that's for the year, average sale price.
It'd be about 600 books. Yeah. So 800 sounds about right. Sold. But
yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would take, let's just say you're selling 700.
Yeah. It's anywhere from 150 to 200 a week. It's usually a little bit higher. And again,
so you have about 2,000 to 3,000 books in stock, 2,300 ish.
About 2,300.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming on, brother. Let's run this again. Everyone go give Martin's Flips a follow on Instagram. And thanks so much for your time.
I'll take some pictures tonight. Yeah.
Thanks,
Will. Always good to see you, man. Thanks, Avery.
Peace.